Hey guys, so I wanted to talk about Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. So I wanted to talk mainly about questions like why wasn't there a supernatural part in Uncharted 4? Because there's been a supernatural part in every single Uncharted before that. Um, Uncharted 1, we had the Spaniards that were cursed. Uncharted 2, we had the Guardians who were dressed up as we had the Yetis, and then we figured out that those Yetis were actually Guardians. So we had those guys who were all purple and huge. And in Uncharted 3, we had the spiders, which aren't necessarily supernatural, but they are like bigger than any other spider in real life. They were really big. You could tell they were huge in the game. So that's another thing. I mean, they're kind of supernatural, kind of not. And then towards the end of the game, we also had those Jinn, I believe is what they were called, and they had the flaming heads. And we turned out to realize that was actually only because Nathan was hallucinating because he drank the water. But it's still sort of kind of what we're looking for. They kind of look like Ghost Rider. So why wasn't there any in Uncharted 4? And I don't know if they were trying to be more realistic in this game or not, but there's this part pretty early on in the game, around Scotland, when you find Henry Avery's grave, and it's pretty creepy. Right there, I think they could have done another thing like the spiders and had some big kind of real animal go after them that was kind of like bugs or something. Like maybe they could have had big centipedes, which would have worked when they went all the way into really deep into Africa or Madagascar late in the game, almost towards the end of the game. They could have brought those back and had them either bigger or just started them off pretty huge. We'd need an explanation why they'd be in Henry Avery's grave. So I don't know about that. Maybe not that part, but they did something like that in Uncharted 3 with the spiders where they're at the chateau and then they're later on in the game, I think they're they're where Francis Drake was, where he stopped his trip because he realized what was going on, and he stopped and he turned around and lied to the queen. So they bring him back. I think they actually bring him back probably more than once in the game, but they do. They have the introduction of them, and then they bring them back, and it's hard to tell. It's super hard to tell, but they might have came back even bigger in Uncharted 3, but I don't know. I'm not too sure about that. But what else? So, another thing they could have done is have some sort of supernatural creature just when they got to Madagascar or whatever, deep in the jungle. They could have introduced it there, except I'm not too sure what they would have done there. And then when you actually find the sort of lost city, the Libertalia city in Uncharted 4, they could have introduced them there, or had them throughout that whole section of Jamaica or Madagascar. I'm not exactly sure where it is. I think it's Madagascar, but I know there's different parts of Africa in the game, so I'm not positive. But yeah. So if you guys in the comments have anything to say about this, what do you think that they would have done? I mean, like, what supernatural creature could they have done? I mean, pirate skeletons walking around, that'd be kind of weird. Pirate ghosts would be kind of weird, but they could have had something cursed. Something happened to the pirates. Someone's guarding, like the other ones. Maybe they just ran out of ideas, because I'm just saying the first two games, what they did for the supernatural, but I think they could have probably fit something in there, and I want to hear what you guys have to say about that. And another thing, one other pet peeve, like one of my biggest pet peeves of the game, is when you're going through all the towers and you figure out that there's 12 towers, but there's 2 possible towers in the with the coin, and then you play as Nate and Sully going to the tower. But I wish you could have also played as Sam going to his tower before Nate and Sully, or like you play as Sam and then after that we play as Nate and Sully doing their tower thing. I think they could have easily fit both in there. Plus, you also see Sam driving a whole different kind of car, which would have been nice to see how other cars control. And yeah, I mean, you play as Sam when he breaks out of the prison with Alcazar, and I know it's like a flashback, and it's kind of not the truth, but sorry spoilers, but you guys should have beat the game if you're watching this. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, you still play as Sam. You still play as Sam, breaking out of the prison, and it's actually only a couple months before our main game's plot takes part. So, I mean, I really wish we could have played as Sam going to the other tower, which I believe was the volcano tower, or I'm not sure. I forgot. He goes to a different tower though, and it would have been nice to play as that. Is all I'm really saying. Play as Sam alone. It would have been a nice little section to call back to early in the game, because it kind of sucks that we only play as Sam for a total of like 20 minutes in the game. We only play as him in one section, and it's a pretty small chapter for the game. For Uncharted's on the PS3, it's probably not too small of a chapter, but for Uncharted 4, it's sort of a small chapter. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you have anything to say on any of this, please comment below. Oh, and one more thing, on the Jeep Nate and Sully ride, it actually says Roadhog Rentals, I believe. Why do you think they called it Roadhog Rentals? I'm trying to think, maybe that calls back to something, but I don't know. Maybe they could just, I mean, that's a pretty good name for a rental car company, actually, so maybe they just came up with it. But I always feel like details like that have to have some kind of meaning or homage. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe if you like this, because I will talk more if you guys have anything you would want me to talk about. I don't know, but thanks for watching, and yeah, bye.